equals the research vessel Curiosity drifted silently through the stellar debris field, its sensors prodding the ancient wreckage scattered across this unexplored sector of space. Captain Sarah Chen stood at the bridge's observation window, her weathered face illuminated by the distant starlight. 20 years of deep space exploration had taught her that the universe's most interesting discoveries often came with the greatest risks. "Captain, we're picking up something strange," Lieutenant Rodriguez called from his sensor station. His dark eyes narrowed as he studied the readings. Multiple signatures, definitely artificial, moving in formation. Nothing like this should be out here. Chen moved to his station, studying the sensor display. The approaching vessels were arranged in a precise geometric pattern that screamed military discipline. Their energy signatures were unlike anything in their database, operating on principles that seemed to defy their understanding of physics. "How many?" she asked, keeping her voice steady despite the sudden tension in her chest. 7 confirmed contacts, Captain. Their technology. It's way beyond anything we've ever encountered." Chen nodded slowly, her mind racing through options. The Curiosity was a research vessel, designed for scientific exploration rather than combat. Their only real defense was a modest shield system intended to protect against stellar radiation and micrometeoroids. But they did have one advantage. They were human, and humanity had survived countless impossible situations through ingenuity and determination. "Sound general quarters, quiet running. Let's see if we can learn something about our visitors before they notice us," Chen ordered, moving back to her command chair. The bridge crew responded with practiced efficiency, their movements precise despite the fear she could sense beneath their professional demeanor. The alien vessels continued their approach, their formation shifting with an almost organic fluidity. Through the high-powered telescopes, Chen could see their bizarre architecture, ships that seemed to be grown rather than built, with crystalline structures that pulsed with internal energy. "Captain, they're scanning the debris field," Rodriguez reported. "Their sensors are incredible. They're mapping everything down to the atomic level." Chen leaned forward, watching the alien ships work. "Are they looking for something specific?" "Can't tell, but wait." Rodriguez's voice trailed off as new data flooded his screen. "Captain, they detected us. 3 vessels are breaking formation, moving to intercept." "Hold position," Chen commanded. "Power up our sensors to full capacity. If this is going to be humanity's first contact, I want every bit of data we can get." The alien ships accelerated with impossible grace, covering the distance between them in moments. They took up positions around the Curiosity, their crystalline hulls shifting and realigning to form what was clearly a containment formation. "They're broadcasting something." "Communications officer," we announced, her fingers dancing across her console. "It's not radio, not any form of electromagnetic transmission we're familiar with. It's like they're modulating gravity itself." Chen felt a smile tugging at her lips despite the danger. This was why humanity had pushed into the unknown, to find the impossible, to learn, to grow. "Record everything. Start broadcasting our first contact package on all frequencies. Let's show them that humanity comes in peace, but we're not helpless." The alien vessels suddenly blazed with light, their crystalline structures resonating with colors that human eyes had never seen before. The Curiosity's sensors screamed warnings as exotic energy readings spiked across the spectrum. "They're charging weapons," Rodriguez shouted, but Chen raised her hand for calm. "Hold steady," she ordered. "Look at their formation. If they wanted to destroy us, we'd already be dead. They're containing us, studying us. Let's use that curiosity to our advantage." The bridge crew watched in tense silence as the alien ships continued their display. Chen studied their movements, their reactions, their technology. Every detail could be crucial for humanity's future. "Send them our ship's technical specifications," she ordered suddenly, earning surprised looks from her crew. "Not everything, just the basics. Let's show them we understand technology, even if ours looks primitive to them." "Captain, is that wise?" Wei asked, though her hands were already preparing the data package. "They're going to scan us anyway," Chen explained. "By offering the information freely, we show intelligence, openness, and confidence. Those are traits any advanced species should recognize." As the data transmission began, the alien vessel's light show shifted, patterns changing in what seemed like response. The containment formation loosened slightly, and one of the ships moved closer, its crystalline structure reconfiguring into what almost looked like an observation platform. "They're responding," Wei announced excitedly. "The gravity modulations are changing. I think they're trying to match our communication protocols." Chen nodded, satisfaction mixing with cautious optimism. This was how humanity had always faced the unknown, with curiosity, adaptability, and the courage to reach out despite the risks. Whatever came next, they would face it with the same resourcefulness that had taken their species from stone tools to the stars. "Begin recording first contact log," she ordered. "Today, humanity enters a larger universe. Let's make sure we do it right." The crystalline alien vessels hung in space like frozen fractals, their surfaces rippling with impossible colors as they maintained their containment formation around the Curiosity. Captain Chen had maintained her calm exterior, but her mind raced through contingency plans as the situation developed. "New transmission incoming," Wei announced from her communication station. "They're adapting. The gravity modulations are becoming more structured, almost like they're trying to match our binary code." "They're learning," Chen observed, studying the main display where the alien signals were being decoded in real time. "Cross-reference their patterns with our initial technical package. See if they're using our own data structure to build a communication bridge." The bridge crew worked in focused silence, their fingers dancing across consoles as they analyzed the alien responses. Rodriguez kept his eyes glued to the tactical display, monitoring every minute shift in the alien vessel's formation. "Captain," he called out suddenly, "the outer ring is adjusting their position. They're opening a gap. I think they're inviting us to move." Chen studied the tactical display carefully. The alien ships had indeed shifted, creating a clear path through their formation. But it led away from the debris field they'd been investigating, toward what appeared to be a designated coordinate in open space. "They want us to follow them," she mused aloud. "Question is, are we being invited or herded?" "Ma'am," Chief Engineer Patel's voice came over the comm. "I've been analyzing their energy signatures. Their tech is incredible, but there's something odd about their ship design. They're not optimized for efficiency. They're optimized for show. All that crystalline architecture, the color displays, it's like they're deliberately trying to look impressive." Chen felt a smile tugging at her lips. Trust a human engineer to look past the spectacle and see the underlying principles. Psychological warfare, perhaps, or just cultural differences. Either way, Paddle continued, their actual power output isn't as overwhelming as it first appeared. Don't get me wrong, they're still way ahead of us. But they're not gods. They're just people. Well, alien people, but you know what I mean. "Captain," Wei interrupted, "I think we've got something. Their latest transmission. It's a crude but recognizable language matrix. They're trying to establish basic concepts using mathematical relationships." Chen moved to Wei's station, studying the patterns flowing across her screen. The aliens were indeed building a primitive dictionary, using universal mathematical constants as a foundation for more complex ideas. "Send back confirmation using their format," Chen ordered. "Then begin transmitting our linguistic database, but slowly. Let's not show all our cards at once." As Wei worked on the communications, Chen turned to Rodriguez. "Status of the debris field. Our initial scans are complete, Captain. There's definitely something artificial out there, but it's old. Really old. And," he hesitated, double-checking his readings, "some of the energy signatures match what we're seeing from our new friends." Chen nodded slowly, pieces falling into place. "So we stumbled onto something they consider important, possibly restricted. No wonder they responded so quickly." She turned to address the entire bridge. Listen up, people. We're about to attempt something unprecedented. First contact while potentially trespassing in someone else's territory. We need to be diplomatic, but we also need to protect Earth's interests. She moved back to her command chair, mind racing through possibilities. Patel, I want you to keep analyzing their technology. Focus on their propulsion and communication systems, anything that might give us an advantage if things go south. Rodriguez, maintain passive scans of the debris field. If there's something important out there, I want to know what it is. Wei, continue the linguistic exchange, but end some subtle questions about territory and permissions. Let's see if we can determine whose space we're in without directly asking. The bridge crew acknowledged their orders, each focusing on their tasks with renewed purpose. Chen watched the alien ships through the main viewport, noting how their crystalline structures seemed to shift and flow in response to their transmissions. One more thing, she added. Start compiling a comprehensive report for Earth Command. Whatever happens here, humanity needs to be prepared. We're not alone anymore, and we need to be ready for what that means. As if in response to her words, the alien vessels suddenly flared with new patterns of light, their gravitational communications becoming more complex and structured. Wei's console lit up with incoming data. Captain, she called out, excitement barely contained in her voice. They're sending coordinates. I think they want to take us to their command center. Chen settled back in her chair, maintaining her calm exterior while her mind raced through the implications. This could be humanity's greatest opportunity, or its greatest trap. Either way, she knew her next decision would echo through human history. Plot the course, she ordered. But take your time about it. Let's show our new friends that humanity knows how to dance. The Curiosity's engines hummed quietly as they followed their crystalline escorts through the void. In engineering, Chief Patel had transformed his workspace into an impromptu research lab, holograms of alien energy signatures floating around him like technological fireflies. Look at this, Captain, he said as Chen entered the cramped compartment. Their gravitic communication system isn't just for show. They're using microsingularities to manipulate space-time itself. Chen studied the complex equations floating before her. Can we replicate it? Not exactly, Patel grinned, but we might not need to. Their system is elegant, advanced, and completely blind to conventional radio waves. They're so focused on gravity manipulation, they've forgotten the basics. Before Chen could respond, the ship's emergency alerts flashed red. Rodriguez's voice crackled over the comm. Captain to the bridge. The alien formation is breaking up. Something's wrong. Chen sprinted through the corridors, Patel close behind. They burst onto the bridge to find chaos unfolding on the main screen. The crystalline ships were scattering, their perfect formation dissolving as new contacts appeared on the sensors. Report, Chen barked, sliding into her command chair. Multiple vessels dropping out of FTL, Rodriguez answered, his hands flying over his tactical station. Different design from our escorts, more angular, aggressive. They're opening fire. The space around them erupted in a dance of exotic energies as the newcomers engaged their escorts. The crystalline ships responded with their own weapons, but their formation had been broken, their coordinated defense disrupted. Our escorts are transmitting. Wei shouted over the chaos. It's garbled, but I think they're telling us to run. Chen watched the battle unfold, her mind racing. The attackers' weapons were devastating, but their tactics were straightforward, almost primitive compared to the crystalline ship's fluid coordination. Patel, those new ships, what are you seeing? The engineer was already at an auxiliary station, analyzing the sensor data. Their tech base is similar to our escorts, but stripped down, militarized. They've sacrificed efficiency for raw power. Wait, his eyes widened. Captain, they're using standard electromagnetic systems for target tracking. Chen's lips curved into a smile. Just like us. Wei, start broadcasting noise across all radio frequencies. Make it look like engine interference. Rodriguez, plot us a course through that debris field we were studying. Patel, I need every bit of power you can give me, but make it look messy. Let's show these aliens how humans handle chaos. The crew jumped into action as Chen outlined her plan. The Curiosity's engines flared to life, spewing an apparently uncontrolled stream of electromagnetic interference that played havoc with the attackers' targeting systems. They dove into the debris field, the ship's smaller size allowing them to navigate paths the larger vessels couldn't follow. They're pursuing, Rodriguez reported, but they're having trouble tracking us through the interference. The crystalline ships are regrouping, using our distraction to reform their defense line. Good, Chen nodded. Now for the real trick. Patel, remember those old mining drones we used to study the debris? Launch them all. Upload a simple program. Have them broadcast duplicates of our engine signature. Understanding dawned on the crew's faces as the plan became clear. Soon, dozens of small drones scattered through the debris field, each broadcasting what appeared to be the signature of a malfunctioning human vessel. Multiple contacts. The attackers' frustration was evident even through their alien communication methods as they tried to track the suddenly multiplying targets. The crystalline ships seized the opportunity, their formation now restored. They struck from multiple angles, their coordinated attack overwhelming the attackers' more conventional defenses. Within minutes, the battle had turned. Captain, Wei called out, our escorts are signaling. There, she paused, double-checking the translation. They're impressed. They're asking how we managed to coordinate with their attack without any gravity-based communications. Chen allowed herself a small laugh. Tell them sometimes the old ways are the best ways, and ask them if they'd be interested in a cultural exchange. I think humanity has a lot to offer their civilization. The remaining attacker ships were retreating, their military precision broken by the unexpected complexity of dealing with both advanced gravity weapons and primitive but effective human tactics. Should we pursue? Rodriguez asked, but Chen shook her head. We've made our point. Besides, she gestured to the debris field around them. I think we found something more interesting than a fight. Ask our friends if they'd be willing to share the history of these ruins. After all, we did just help them protect them. As the crystalline ships regrouped around them, their patterns now showing what the crew was learning to recognize as respect, Chen felt a surge of pride. Humanity had just proved itself on the galactic stage, not through superior technology or overwhelming force, but through creativity, adaptability, and the willingness to see opportunities where others saw only obstacles. Log this in the official report, she ordered. Humanity's first interstellar battle not only ended in victory, but may have just earned us some powerful friends. Not bad for a bunch of primitive humans with outdated technology. The debris field had transformed into a hub of activity. The Curiosity floated among the crystalline vessels, which now moved with a different rhythm. Less rigid, more curious. Captain Chen stood in what the crew had dubbed the conference room, though it was really just the ship's largest observation deck hastily repurposed for diplomatic functions. First Contact Specialist Dr. Yuki Tanaka stood beside her, watching the approaching shuttle from the lead alien vessel. Their body language is fascinating, she noted, studying the way the crystalline craft seemed to pulse with subtle patterns. They're not just communicating, they're expressing emotions through their technology. The shuttle docked with barely a whisper, its crystalline structure flowing like liquid to form a perfect seal with the Curiosity's airlock. The crew held their breath as the inner door cycled open. The alien delegation that emerged defied all expectations. Rather than the crystalline beings they'd anticipated, their visitors appeared almost gaseous, their forms held together by faintly glowing energy fields. They moved with fluid grace, their bodies shifting colors in patterns similar to their ships. Welcome aboard the Curiosity, Chen said formally, as Wei's translation matrix converted her words into the gravitational pulses they'd learned to use for communication. The lead alien's form coalesced slightly, taking on a more humanoid shape, clearly an effort to appear less alien. Its response came as a series of gravitational waves that Wei's system translated. We are intrigued. Your methods are primitive, yet you achieved what our finest tactical systems could not. Chen smiled diplomatically. Sometimes the simplest solution is the most effective. We call it thinking outside the box, approaching problems from unexpected angles. The alien leader's form rippled in what they were learning to recognize as amusement. You'd use radiation that we considered too crude to monitor. You turned debris into confusion. You made weakness into strength. These are not the actions of a primitive species. Technology doesn't define intelligence, Dr. Tanaka interjected. Humanity has learned to work with what we have, to adapt and overcome rather than simply overpower. The alien delegation conferred among themselves, their forms mixing slightly before separating again. The attackers you helped us repel, the leader explained, were once part of our civilization. They believe that technological advancement is the only measure of worth. They seek to claim the ancient ruins you discovered, ruins that contain knowledge we believe no civilization should possess without first learning wisdom. Chen exchanged glances with her crew. These ruins, they're some kind of repository. A warning, another alien corrected. Left by those who came before. They advanced too quickly, achieved too much without understanding the consequences. The ruins contain their legacy, their mistakes, their regrets. And now you guard them. Chen nodded understanding. Protecting others from repeating those mistakes. The alien leader's form pulsed with approval. Yet in all our time as guardians, we never considered using primitive technologies as you did. We never thought to combine the old with the new. Perhaps its form shifted thoughtfully. Perhaps we have become as rigid in our thinking as those we oppose. Dr. Tanaka stepped forward. Then maybe we can help each other. You have technology we can learn from. And we have perspectives you might find valuable. The aliens conferred again, their colors mixing in complex patterns. Finally, the leader turned back to Chen. We propose an exchange. Help us understand your ways of thinking, your adaptability, your outside-the-box approaches. In return, we will share what knowledge we believe you are ready for, and help us establish proper diplomatic relations with your civilization. Chen added carefully. The alien's form brightened. You continue to demonstrate wisdom. Yes, we would be honored to introduce humanity to the galactic community. Though its colors shifted to what they were learning to recognize as amusement. After word of this encounter spreads, you may find you have already made quite an introduction. Chen smiled. Well, humanity has never been good at subtle entrances. We tend to prefer making an impact. The meeting continued for hours, laying the groundwork for humanity's first interstellar alliance. The aliens shared stories of their civilization's history, their ongoing struggle with their militant splinter faction, and their growing concern about other young species discovering the ruins before they were ready. As Chen listened, she couldn't help but feel pride in how her crew had handled first contact. They'd proven that humanity could hold its own among the stars not through overwhelming force or advanced technology, but through the very traits that had taken them from Earth's caves to its orbit: creativity, adaptability, and the courage to face the unknown with both wisdom and wonder. 3 days after the battle, the Curiosity's observation deck had been transformed. Holographic displays showing Earth's history floated alongside crystalline projections of alien star charts. Captain Chen watched as her crew mingled with their alien counterparts, each side learning from the other with growing enthusiasm. Your species evolved on a death world, one of the alien scientists commented, its gaseous form shifting colors of fascination as it studied Earth's environmental data. Constant temperature changes, aggressive fauna, extreme weather patterns, variable gravity regions, yet you not only survived but thrived. We had to adapt, Dr. Tanaka explained, pulling up images of human technological progression. Each challenge forced us to innovate, to find new solutions. We learned early that survival often means changing your approach rather than simply applying more power. Across the room, Chief Patel was deep in discussion with the aliens' engineering team, his hands gesturing excitedly as he explained the principles behind the Curiosity's seemingly primitive but remarkably flexible systems. See, we designed everything to be modular, repairable, adaptable. A system that can't be fixed is just waiting to fail at the worst possible moment. The alien engineer's forms rippled with new understanding. Her own technology, while far more advanced, was also more specialized, more rigid in its applications. The human approach of building simple, adaptable systems that could be repurposed as needed was entirely foreign to them, and increasingly intriguing. "Captain," Rodriguez called from his station, "long-range sensors are picking up something. Multiple signatures, similar to our attackers from before." The alien leader's form consolidated instantly. "They are persistent. Having failed to claim the ruins by force, they now return in greater numbers." Chen studied the tactical display, noting the approaching vessel's formation. "They're not just coming back for the ruins, are they? They're coming to make a point about technological superiority." "Yes," the alien leader confirmed. "They believe that permitting primitive species like yours to access ancient knowledge threatens the natural order. They will seek to prove their philosophy correct, through our destruction if necessary." Chen smiled, an expression that caught the alien leader's attention. "You seem unconcerned." "Not unconcerned," Chen corrected. "Just confident. In the past 3 days, we've learned a lot about each other's capabilities. I think it's time we showed your wayward friends the power of combining perspectives." She turned to her crew. "Paddle, remember that theory you were discussing with the engineering team about using our electromagnetic noise to disrupt their gravity wave formations?" The engineer grinned. "Already on it, Captain. Our alien friends have been helping me modify our transmitters. We can blanket the whole sector with targeted interference." "Way, how's that joint communication system coming along?" "Ready to deploy," the communications officer reported. "We can switch between electromagnetic and gravity wave broadcasts instantly. They won't be able to jam us without jamming themselves." The alien leader's form brightened with understanding. "You wish to combine our technologies. Such hybridization is unprecedented." "That's humanity's specialty," Chen said. "We take different ideas, different approaches, and find ways to make them work together. Now shall we show your militant friends why diversity of thought is stronger than technological purity?" The next hour was a flurry of activity as human and alien crews worked together, integrating their systems in ways neither side had imagined possible. The crystalline ships adjusted their formations to protect the Curiosity, while the human vessel prepared to use its primitive systems in ways their designers had never intended. When the attacking fleet arrived, they found not a defensive formation, but an integrated response that defied their tactical expectations. Human electromagnetic warfare disrupted their targeting systems, while alien gravity weapons struck from unexpected angles. The Curiosity's modified mining drones darted through the battlefield, their simple signals playing havoc with sophisticated sensor systems. The battle was brief but decisive. The attacking fleet, for all its technological superiority, couldn't adapt to the constantly changing tactical situation. Their rigid adherence to pure technological advancement proved their undoing against the combined creativity of human and alien approaches. As the last attacker retreated, the alien leader turned to Chen. "We have protected these ruins for centuries, believing we were preserving wisdom. Yet in 3 days, your species has taught us more about true wisdom than we learned in all that time." Chen nodded toward the holographic displays still showing Earth's history. "We learned the hard way that progress isn't just about technology. It's about understanding, adaptation, and being willing to see value in different perspectives." Perhaps the alien leader's form shifted to indicate formal speech. "It is time to share the ruins' knowledge after all. Not because your technology has reached a certain level, but because your species understands something far more important, the wisdom of balanced progress." As Chen looked out at the debris field that had started this all, She felt a sense of profound satisfaction. Humanity had made its entrance onto the galactic stage, not through overwhelming force or advanced technology, but by demonstrating the very qualities that had taken them to the stars in the first place: curiosity, adaptability, and the wisdom to know that true strength comes not from power, but from understanding. "Send word to Earth," she ordered Y. "Tell them humanity just got a lot bigger than we ever imagined, and we're ready for it."